I'd like to call tonight's meeting to order. We will begin with a notice to the media. Spartanburg County School District 5 has complied with the requirements of the Freedom of Information Act in notification of the media and other interested parties and organizations and posting of the agenda. Next, I would like to recognize Mr. Mark Cleveland for tonight's prayer.
Would you pray with us? Loving and gracious God, you are indeed the giver of all good gifts, and we thank you for this today here at District 5 Schools. Our Board of Trustees and our staff and administration is very appreciative of your attendance tonight. We want to say a special prayer for Mrs. Robinette and her family during their hour of bereavement. We ask that you bless the staff, students abundantly, and we continue to seek your wisdom, courage, and strength in all issues and areas that touch their lives. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Cleveland. I need approval of tonight's agenda. Do I have any comments or discussion on tonight's agenda? Thank you. Being that I see and hear none, we'll consider the agenda approved. I also need approval of the minutes from the March 13th and March 23rd, 2026 meetings. Do I have any comments or discussion on the minutes? All right, being that I hear and see none, we will consider the minutes approved. I would like to now recognize Ms. Melissa Robinette for special recognition.
Thank you very much, Dr. Malone, Dr. Gary, board members. Thank you all so much, and thank you. I don't remember a time in recent memory that we had quite this many people in our room, and as I have joked a few times over the past few weeks, it's a very good issue to have when we have so many students being recognized that we kind of have to do things a little bit differently, but we are pleased that you're all here this evening. We are going to kick our special recognition off, though, with a special guest, Miss Anna McKay from the Palmetto Boy Scouts, is here to recognize one of our District 5 teachers. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to her.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Anna McKay. I am the Director of Marketing for the Palmetto Council Scouting America. And firstly, I wanted to thank the Superintendent, the School Board, and Spartanburg District 5 for allowing us to be here tonight. For those of you who do not know, the mission of Scouting America is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices throughout their lifetime by instilling the Scout Oath and Law. Some of those values include loyalty, helpfulness, cleanliness, as well as being friendly, trustworthy, and those are just to name a few. In Spartanburg District 5, the Palmetto Council provides high-quality programs to both Cub Scouts and Scouts BSA, and in 2025, our Scouts completed over 10,500 hours of volunteer service in this community alone. While our volunteer leaders are instrumental, the educators who interact with our youth daily make a lasting impact. They instill character, encourage success, and reinforce the values embodied by the Scout Oath and Law. Today, I am very honored to have the opportunity to present the Albert K. Fretwell Outstanding Educator Award to a deserving educator from Spartanburg District 5. The Fretwell Award was established in 2016 to recognize educators who exemplify strong character and inspire students to do the same. Dr. Fretwell served as the Chief Executive of Scouting America and was a renowned Columbia University professor who championed the role of extracurricular programs in shaping successful students. This evening, we are proud to recognize an educator from Burns High School who has dedicated themselves to empowering students each and every day. This educator has been selected as this year's recipient for exceptional dedication to the students and to the school community. They consistently go above and beyond, building meaningful relationships, encouraging growth, and leading by example each day. On behalf of Scouting America and the Palmetto Council, it is my honor to present this award to Tommy Peak. If you could join me up front.
Thank you so much. And now I'm going to once again turn the microphone over to Ms. Casey Cotter, our Director of Fine Arts. And parents, just a moment of housekeeping, if you will. Since we have so many students being recognized tonight and multiple groups being recognized, if we can hold our gigantic applause until the end. So, Ms. Cotter, please join us.
Good evening, members of the board, district leadership, and community. It is my honor to share a snapshot tonight of the incredible accomplishments happening across our fine arts programs in District 5. Our students continue to demonstrate excellence in all programs, earning top ratings at regional and state events. But beyond these awards, these students are developing discipline, creativity, collaboration, and confidence, skills that will serve them far beyond the classroom. Tonight, we celebrate not only their achievements, but also the dedication of their teachers, the support of our families, and the commitment of this district to provide meaningful, high-quality arts education for every student. Thank you for your continued support of fine arts in District 5. Buckle up, here we go. We got a lot of kids to get through. First up, we will be recognizing our SCMEA Elementary Honor Choir. It's comprised of students grades 3 through 5 who represent the very best in South Carolina. They rehearse and perform at the South Carolina Music Educators Conference annually. The following students were selected to the 2026 ensemble. From Abner Creek Academy, Mylinda Allen, Sadie Ashmore, Mila Craig, Scarlett Kulbaba, Mackenzie Searfoss. From Duncan Elementary, Maj Beret, Navy Love. From Reedville, Melody Hudson, Savannah Pushin, Andrea Royer. From River Ridge Elementary, Lauren Medlock. From Tiger River Elementary, Henry Noble. And from Welford Academy, Felicity Anderson, Benjamin Bowman, and Alexandra Butner. Thank you, students and teachers. Next up, we have the South Carolina All-State Band. This is the highest honor a student musician can achieve in our state, bringing together the top performers through a rigorous, multi-round audition process. The following students were selected to the 2026 South Carolina All-State Band. It's a lot. Pause. Keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, from Abner Creek Middle School, Bryson Gray, Caleb Rhymes, Liam Weidman. From Beach Springs Middle School, Bryson Puckett, Miles Shands. From DR Hill Middle School, Victoria Ritschuk, Sasha Lindsay, Owen Royer, Isiaka Traore. From Florence Chapel Middle School, Allie Ailman, Claire Coleman, Lachlan Dinger, Roman Stark. From Burns High School, Luke Atkins, Henry Cotter, Grayson Crutchlow, Abigail Davis, Lily Fletcher, Madeline George, Ava Huff, Emma Howard, Porter Howard, Mason McNeely, Landon Painter, Matthew Price, Elena Ramsey, Layla Rollins, Brendan Towner, Gausu Traore, Ben Warner, and Caroline Wright. Good catch. Good catch, Dr. Williams. Thank you, students and teachers. If the high school band directors can stay up here. The Burns High School Wind Ensemble was selected as a featured performing group at the Music for All Southeastern Concert Festival, recognizing them as one of the top performing ensembles in the Southeast. Any Burns band directors, please step forward. Looks like we have Mr. Mabry and Mr. Moss. The South Carolina All-State Orchestra is a prestigious ensemble that brings together the top strings, winds, and percussion students from across the state through an audition process. The following students were selected for the 2026 South Carolina All-State Orchestra. From Beach Springs Middle School, Miles Shands. From DR Hill Middle School, Owen Royer. From Florence Chapel Middle School, Lachlan Dinger, Jackson Liu, Roman Stark. From Burns Freshman Academy, Daniel Gosson. From Burns High School, Henry Cotter, Lily Fletcher, Olivia Lee, Mackenzie Perry, and Matthew Price. Next up, we have the South Carolina ACDA All-State Choir, and this brings together the top middle and high school vocalists from across our state. Selection to this ensemble is a prestigious honor. The following students were selected for the South Carolina ACDA All-State Choir. You ready? From Reedville Elementary, Shania Amber, Sailor Barker, Connor Graham, Aria Green, Melody Hudson, Memphis Hughes, Savannah Pushin, Rayleigh Smith, Sophia Smith. From Abner Creek Middle School, Josie Burgess. Come on. They're middle school, yeah. It's okay. their middle school too. Probably. You're doing great. Your middle school, step right here. Hudson, your middle school, right? Step right here. Here we go. All right, middle school, y'all can keep coming. From Abner Creek Middle School, Josie Burgess, Jack Gibson, Hudson Irby, Evanessa Cott. From Beach Springs Middle School, Riley Burkett, Lillian Day, McKenna Dodd, Hannah Lapina, Tori Moore, McKenna Peterson. From DR Hill Middle School, Sydney Jones. From Florence Chapel Middle School, Sadie Brock, Alice Korfman, Khalil Rutledge, Scarlett Wade, Quinn Whitaker, and Gwen Yarborough. This is high school. Do you want them? From Burns Freshman Academy and Burns High School, Sophia Chang, Abigail Hinton, Jeremiah Anderson, Alexis Kramer, Dalton Hughes, Nathaniel Rains, and Rachel Scoggin. We also had a few students who were selected for the ACDA Southern Division Honor Choir representing our district and state at their Honor Choir Clinic in Tennessee a few months ago. Those students are, maybe still walking. Okay. Lillian Day from Beach Springs Middle School, Hannah Lapina, Tempe McCubbins, and from Burns Freshman Academy, Sophia Chang and Aubrey Harton. The following students were selected to represent District 5 in the South Carolina Music Educators Association, that's a mouthful, All-State Choir. These students were chosen for this ensemble demonstrate exceptional musicianship and perform at the highest level. From BFA, Carson Cagle, Sophia Chang. Y'all just start lining up. Just go line up. From Burns High School, Angelica Alicia Solis, Jeremiah Anderson, Megan Bowman, Grayson Crutchlow, Soraya Fangman, Audrey Kalk, Aria Korfman, Preston Landrum, Alyssa Lentz, Sabrina Maldonado, Corbin Mauney, Waverly McNew, Keely Moore, Nate Rains, Khalil Robinson, Rachel Scoggin, Elizabeth Turner, Sophia Waters, and Ella Yarbrough. And if I could please have Mr. Stephen Gunner, Miss Shannon Day, and Miss Millie Shiflett come forward. This past February, the choral ensembles from Burns High School and Beach Springs Middle School represented District 5 at the annual SCMEA Music Educators Conference. They were both selected as featured performing groups, and they were fantastic. So we can give them a round of applause, please. All right, moving on to theater. The following students placed first in their events at the South Carolina Speech and Theater Association Festival in March. The South Carolina Speech and Theater Association inspires students to pursue excellence in speech and theater. Through its annual competition, students have the opportunity to perform, grow, and earn top honors. From Beach Springs Middle School, John Carlos Beltran Hernandez, Alicia Fonseca, Seth Harper, Peyton Kuykendall, Jamison Lee, Jada McCrae, Isaac Parlow, Marin Varner. That was it, sorry, that was it. And the following students participated in the South Carolina Theater Association Spring Festival, I believe 2 weekends ago, maybe last weekend. And these students also received first place at their events. From Abner Creek Middle School, Grace Clary, Amber Dominguez, Astrid Jimenez Garcia, and Lana Securas. The 2026 Converse Emerging Young Artist Juried Exhibition is held at Converse University and showcases high school artists, offering them professional gallery experience in the Milliken Art Gallery in Spartanburg. The 2026 exhibition featured 130 pieces from 62 teachers and 26 schools. The following students had artwork selected for this show. From Burns Freshman Academy, Aria Boucher, Kaylin Engel, Ellie Noble, Sadie Wilson. From Burns High School, Angelo Acosta, Mackenzie Daniels, Jessica Villa, Gavin Hipwell, Emma Coors, Brandon Linares, Anila Torres, and Kiara Woodring. And last but not least, the Artists Guild of Spartanburg features Spartanburg County High School students in the Guild Gallery for the month of March in its Focus on Youth juried exhibition. The following students had artwork represented in this show for District 5. From BFA, Addison Ball. From Burns High School, Savannah Griffin. Last page. Valeska Jimenez, Kinley Jones, Maya Lindsay, Yana Mikhailskaya, Asia Prim, Mary Telemack, and Sean Whiteman. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Cotter. And with that, one big round of applause for everyone. Parents, your students will return to you in just a moment. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Malone.
Thank you, Ms. Robinette. Thank you, Ms. Cotter. We are so proud of your students and the high accolades tonight. It was a treat to get to celebrate them. We are now going to take a brief recess so y'all can reconnect with your students and take a few photos. And thank you for coming out. All right, I'd like to call this meeting back to order. It thinned out in here a wee bit. We're going to begin with our action items tonight. I'd like to recognize Mr. Ryan Clunan for consideration of guaranteed maximum price number 2 for the Transportation Depot building.
All right, good evening, Dr. Malone, Dr. Gary, board members. Pleased to present our second and final GMP for the South Transportation Hub building. I'd like to call up our architect, Alex Lay, and our GCs, Trevin Thompson and Sharp Turner. As you guys may recall, we had presented GMP number 1 last month, and GMP number 1 included all of our on-site site work, as well as our pre-engineered metal building shell and frame. So today's presentation is going to cover what's left in this project, and they will present that in detail for you, and then we'll be glad to take any questions afterwards.
Good evening. Thank you for having us again. Behind us is the site plan that was presented during GMP 1 last time I was here. GMP 2 includes the building and the fencing and irrigation and landscaping. As a reminder, the Transportation Hub building, 10,000 square feet. It's got some office space, a training room for 100 people, some storage, and 2 vehicular bays for light washing and light mechanical work for the bus depot. Turn to Trent.
Board, we're excited to be back today to present this GMP number 2. Again, the on-site work was on the first GMP, and the building structure, which was a pre-engineered metal building, was in the first. So these are all additions to those. So this is the DOT recommended road work and widening. And since we last met, when we last met, the DOT did not want us to do the road improvements in this scope. It was going to be in the middle school scope. That has now changed and is brought over to this scope for the bus turn lanes, since that middle school scope will be about 2 years out before that work is completed. So that work in this GMP is $437,528. The landscape irrigation and fencing is $272,604. The remainder of the building is $202,772,839. And then we carried a 5% contingency on these numbers, and that is $200,696. For a total of the GMP 2 to be approved, bringing us to $3,673,667, with a project total now of $6,882,639.
So on behalf of the administration, I recommend the board approve the guaranteed maximum price number 2 for the Transportation Depot not to exceed $3,673,667.
Thank you, Mr. Clunan. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the guaranteed maximum price number 2 for the Transportation Depot not to exceed $3,673,667 as presented by the administration.
Thank you, Mr. Good. Do I have a second? I can't see y'all. Thank you, Ms. Faulkner. Any comments or discussion for Mr. Clunan or the gentleman at the front? Mr. Clement?
Just a quick question on the DOT road work. So that's the best information that we have now. That's got turn lanes, those things. Does or does not include traffic signal work?
This does not include traffic signal.
If they require it.
I, in fact, talked to DOT today, and he said right now they are not requiring it.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mr. Clement. Any other questions? All right, we have a motion. It's been seconded. We'll now prepare for a vote. All in favor of approving the guaranteed maximum price number 2 for the Transportation Depot not to exceed $3,673,667, please do so by raising your right hand high. Motion carries 8-0. Thank you, Mr. Clunan.
Thank you all.
All right, moving on, we would like to recognize Dr. Scott Smith for consideration of strategic plan renewal.
Where is here? Ah, I see it up there. Wrong place. Good. Thanks, sir. Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Gary, Ms. Chair, members of the board. Glad to be here with you tonight. Each year, the district must submit an update to our strategic plan, as well as each school renewal plan, and we're here to go through the highlights of that tonight. We are in year 4 of reporting for this plan on a 5-year cycle. And again, tonight we're going to look at the main goals of the plan, and there's quite a bit more detail in the full plan that we will actually submit to the State Department. Our first goals are in the area of student achievement, and they focus on improvements in iReady. The iReady Spring Reading Diagnostic is the topic of our first goal. Our baseline way back when we wrote this plan was 30.2%. This year, and these are fresh numbers, 41% of our students met their stretch growth goal in reading, with a goal of 42%. In math, we started at a 31.4% baseline when we first developed the plan, and 38% of our students district-wide met their stretch growth target in all grade levels K through 5 this year. We did make some adjustments to these two goals. The plans are meant to be a living, breathing document. They're not something that the state wants us to just keep on the shelf and review once a year and move on. So we did some discussion across district staff, with teachers, with our principals, as well as with Curriculum Associates, which is the parent company of iReady, about how we develop these goals. And what we came away with is we thought initially we would see a larger jump in, or a larger learning loss coming out of the pandemic. We did not see the jumps initially that we thought we were going to see because of that when we first wrote this plan. So the plan had 2 years of large jumps in stretch plan growth attainment, and then it tapered off as we got farther into the plan. So what we have done is adjusted the total trajectory of the plan to take those big jumps out that didn't happen and make the goals a little more attainable. So that's why, if you think back to last year, we've adjusted that overall trajectory down just a little bit to make it a little more attainable as we move forward. That fourth bullet, despite not reaching our original targets, our percentage of students on or above grade level at each informed assessment that we give continues to be above the state and national averages. So we don't think adjusting these plans will have any effect on what our students are able to do at the state compared to the state level and compared nationally. The next goal is for the middle and high schools. These are also iReady related, but they are, instead of focusing on growth, we are now looking for middle school students at college and career readiness because they're getting closer to that benchmark. You can see in math, 47.7% of our students were considered college and career ready, which is early on or mid or above grade level for this school year, current school year. In reading, that number was 48.3%. For also in the college and career readiness area for the high school students, the Algebra 1 EOC, should note these are last year's numbers. Obviously, we have not given the EOC for this spring yet, so we typically update this goal based on the prior year numbers. Algebra 1, we were up 5 percentage points in terms of students earning a D or better or passing the EOC for Algebra 1 last school year. And for English 2, we were at 86.8% of students that earned a D or better for the district as a whole. Some highlights from work that's been done towards those. All staff in our district have now been trained in the AVID program implementation. That has been a multi-year process. We continue to investigate and see that our students who are participating in the AVID are doing substantially better than those who are not, so we're very pleased with that. We had an AVID team visit earlier this year that resulted in a number of accolades for our implementation here in District 5. We have added math coaches at all the elementary levels, and we also have instructional coaches now. Thank you to you all. We appreciate the support at the middle level, and we think we are seeing continued improvement and growth from those students. Moving into gifted and talented, this first goal is actually a reduction instead of an increase, which is a little bit unusual for a plan. But we wanted to see a decrease in the percentage of students who are identified for academic gifted and talented, decrease in the proportion of students who are considered all students, everybody, and those who are in poverty. We felt like we had a disproportionate amount of students who were in poverty that were being identified for GT. We reduced that proportion down to 5.4% this year, so we're very pleased with that. We also have talked about increasing enrollment in our GT artistic programs. This was a goal that we just added last year. And we wanted that to go up to 6%, which would be 490 students based on, at the end of the plan, based on last year's enrollment. What has happened is we increased the number of artistic students ever so slightly, but we pretty dramatically increased our overall enrollment this year. So the percentage did not go up quite as high in terms of the percentage of kids that are identified for GT. But we do plan to continue to push that. We had an artist in residence scheduled for March 6th. That was moved back because that turned into a makeup day because of weather. The Director of Fine Arts has met with colleagues in 2 other districts to gather information about GT music programming, which we do not currently do in District 5. And they have also administered a survey to music and art teachers to gather information regarding future programming. That's one reason we added the enrollment in the artistic programs as a goal, with the intent of, at some point in the future, of trying to add GT music where we can recognize those students for their accomplishments as well. The next goal is teacher quality. District 5 will increase the number of contracts offered from our district recruitment fair. Well, that one got snowed out. So if you look at the next 2 slides down, it will tell you that the recruitment fair was not held this year due to inclement weather, but we did have 133 candidates pre-registered for that event. The candidates were contacted individually by the folks in HR, and they were given instructions on how to proceed and how we could hopefully scoop some of them up. So that's why there's a TBD there. Going back 1 slide, I went ahead. The percentage of teachers returning to Spartanburg District 5 each year will increase from 91 to 93.5% by 2027, and that is the 3-year rolling average. We increased that 1 percentage point last year from 89 up to 90% of teachers on a rolling 3-year average returning year over year to Spartanburg 5. The final set of goals are in the area of school climate. This first one is based on students reporting their own feelings of self-efficacy. You can see there the grades K through 2 baseline was 54%. Last year that remained at 61%. It is worth noting that for kindergarten through 2nd grade, those questions on this survey are actually answered by their teachers instead of by the students just because of their age. 3rd through 5th graders, we started at 56%. Back when we first developed the plan, we were up to 62% last year who felt like they could do good work in school and had a high self-efficacy. In grades 6 through 12, we moved from 45% at the original baseline to 53% of students reporting positively on that for last year. Counselors completed continuous improvement training provided by SAM, the Spartanburg Academic Movement, and developed school goals to be progress monitored during 26-27. The district has developed a new MTSS framework that will be implemented this fall. We hope that that will continue to help students who need a little extra boost as they're moving through our system. And we also have begun training for a new tool for MTSS management called Panorama. That will be rolled out to everyone in the fall of this year, but some administrators and counselors, coaches have already received some initial training on that. But that's a huge program for us. It will allow us to monitor the MTSS program as well as be a new data tool for teachers to use, looking at their students' data and those kinds of things. The next goal deals with school climate in terms of safety in schools. We ask on each one of our surveys that are given by the state each year, parents, students, and teachers the same essential question that I feel safe at school, or I feel safe at school before and after school hours, or I feel safe at school before and after school hours for the teachers as well. So you can see there the 3 goals for each group of individuals. For parents, 87.4% was our baseline. This past year, 85.3% agreed to some degree with the statement that they feel safe or their child feels safe. For students, that number is at 87.6% that reported they feel safe before and after school hours. And for teachers, that number is at 99% that they feel safe at school before and after school hours. The expedite bag scanning system was implemented at Burns High School this year as one of the efforts that were put in place to help these numbers. We have continued training and increased monitoring of the Navigate 360 app being used in the district, and there is a plan for another reunification drill next school year, 26-27, which we hope will also help with those numbers as well. The final goal for school climate has to do with family engagement in school. We asked parents and 2 teacher questions, or used the questions from the survey. Asked parents, do they feel welcome at their child's school? We started that goal at 83.3%. Last year it was at 84.1%. Teachers, parents attend meetings and other school events is that middle line. They started at 84.3%. That is up 4.3 percentage points to 88.6. And the other question from the teacher survey is parents participate as volunteers, and that has increased over time from 48.5% to 67.8%. So it's wonderful to see the increase in parent participation in our schools. Some highlights, we do want to note that parents are completing fewer surveys. Back in the day, these surveys were sent home with the students. It was a paper survey, and it was, a lot of schools would incentivize that to get the kids to take it home, let their parents fill it out, bring it back, and the class that brings the most back gets an ice cream party, those kinds of things. So the state moved 2 years ago to an online survey, and we don't have the ability to track it by person anymore. So we can't follow up, if you will, and encourage people to participate in the survey. So we have seen a reduction in the participation from parents around the district. And again, it's done by a QR code now. We do send an email out with that QR code in it. Our numbers have still gone down, and again, we have no monitoring tool for the survey. So the district administration recommends approval of the 25-26 district strategic plan update. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the strategic plan renewal as presented by the administration.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Cleveland. Any comments or discussions for Dr. Smith or the administration? Mr. Watchorn or Mr. Clement?
I got a few questions. I'll start with my first one. Stretch targets, how are those established?
They were originally, did my mic go off? It just doesn't sound like a song. As long as you can hear, that's all that matters. We originally had a very large group of individuals that put this plan together back in the fall, starting in the fall of 2021-22 school year. Met down at...
Let me clarify.
Okay.
The stretch growth on iReady.
Yes.
Does the system create those goals?
Yeah, oh, yes.
Yeah.
When the kids take the fall diagnostic,
Yeah.
they are
Okay.
given a typical growth goal and a stretch growth goal.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Sorry, I thought you meant the whole
No
plan.
worries. On the student achievement, should we be concerned that less than half of our students are not college or career ready?
We did not change those. We didn't adjust those because they're criterion referenced versus the growth goals. I think the things that have been done, and I've got a lot more detail I can go into as far as specifics that have been done at the middle schools and high schools. And we can get that for you as far as the specific activities that have been done. But I think they are working towards improving those numbers. And this MTSS process that we talked about will certainly, we hope, increase that too as we go through.
I mean, do we feel, because the next year is 60%? That's a significant increase year over year. I mean,
Yes.
I don't, based on just what we've done in the past couple of years, I don't see that achievable.
It will be difficult, yes.
Okay. The other question was on teacher quality. It stayed pretty stagnant over the last several years. I mean, about 90, was it 90%?
As far as the trajectory of the goal?
Yeah, we've been about 90%.
Right.
Our target's 93. Do we know how we're going to achieve that 93%? I know some of that stuff's not in our control with teachers leaving the district and stuff like that, but that's been another stubborn one that we have not been able to hit.
Let's see what we've got here as far as more detail for that from last year. And this is kind of a reflection from last year when we update the, or the current year when we update the plan. Of course, they're trying to beef up the recruitment fair, which didn't happen this year, but that's last year's data, so hopefully that will not result in a decrease this year. Just going through looking at 25, 26 updates. Whoops, went the wrong way. Continued training for teachers, social emotional competencies and wellness surveys and playbook interventions have been given to help meet the needs of students. Academic movement in the Center for Resilient Schools training has been provided. So it's a number of different things that the department has done, or the Human Resources primarily department and the instruction departments have done.
Okay, thank you.
And if I could add to that response too, also that was uploaded to your portal is I'll call it the long document, the entire document, maybe 89 pages or so, right. And it lists all of those strategies, some of which he's mentioned, some of which he's not, that will list the things that we're doing in each of the categories, whether it's teacher retention, whether it's SC Ready, I Ready, all those scores. So right. If you want to go through and look at all of those strategies, not all of them, many of those strategies are written inside of that document that was uploaded. Right.
Thank you, Mr. Watchorn. Mr. Clement?
I know we talked about it last year as well, about the declining participation in the surveys as well. How much more did the participation go down?
We are about the same as we were last year. Okay. It depends on the level. The older the kids get, the less involved they the parents tend to be. So we get more 18 to 20, 24% out of the elementary schools, and usually the middle schools and high schools are down around 10 to 15%. Of the total population.
Well, the administration relies pretty heavily on that, at least to be able to point and steer right. Where we need to put our efforts and things. So do we have anything in the strategic plan, knowing that that's where, we hoping last year was a one-off and we could get some more participation? We're not. So right. Do we have any kind of plans, goals, ideas for trying to increase that participation? Or does the state say, no, you can't send them home anymore? It's got to be, is there anything else we can do to help beef that up?
They don't provide it as a paper survey anymore, so the state has basically nixed that. It's electronic only. We have been told that the vendor is going to change for next year for all of the surveys, the parent, teacher, and student, and they'll all come under the same umbrella. And alongside that, we are supposed to be able to monitor much more carefully in real time who and what schools, how the questions are being answered or the surveys are being submitted. That should give us a way to be able to help put reminders, for instance, to like in a school newsletter or on the digital sign in front of the school, don't forget to turn your parent surveys in by the deadline, that kind of thing. And we should be able to monitor that based on what the state has told us.
Yep. As a parent, I can tell you the only notification that I get from it is a couple of quick, Power School, or right. A quick little email reminder, that's it. And then if you're busy and you don't, so if it's important to us, then it may be worth spending a little money on some flyers or something. Hey, here's your QR code, go do this, something like that.
Absolutely.
It's a little bit of a pain to do it the way that the state has it set up. And so, again, if it's important to us and we are going to rely on these, it may be something worth.
Absolutely. We can do that.
Thank you, Mr. Clement. Any other comments or discussion? All right, we have a motion. It's been seconded. We'll now prepare for a vote. All in favor of approving the strategic plan renewal as presented by the administration, please do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 8-0. Thank you, Dr. Smith.
Thank you.
All right, we will move on to our report section tonight. I'd like to recognize Ms. Erin Greenway for our R.D. Anderson update.
Thank you, Dr. Malone, Dr. Gary, and District 5 school board members. As principal at Burns High School, I'm excited tonight to share some information with you about how we're preparing students for high skill, high wage, and high demand careers. I've brought two experts with me tonight. Come on up. I have Dr. Ty Dawkins, the director of R.D. Anderson here, and Mr. Noah Baker, Burns High School student, and he brought his capstone project. We're about to see that in just a minute. While they're joining me up here at the front, I want to take a moment just to highlight the power and the promise of career and technical education, or CATE, as we call it. CATE consists of structured programs that prepare students for college, careers, and industry certifications. They give students purpose, direction, and the opportunity to connect what they're learning in a classroom to real-world skills and careers. We currently offer 37 CTE pathways. We have 10 at Burns High School and a different 27 at R.D. Anderson and the Master Skills Center. All of these programs and tracks provide hands-on experiences in fields where skilled professionals are in high demand. Our students aren't just learning about careers, they're actually actively participating in job site experiences and internships. These opportunities benefit all of our students, those headed straight into the workforce, those who are pursuing certifications, and those who will continue on to college with a clear vision of their future goals. Our students are graduating ready for post-secondary opportunities, confident, prepared, and competitive. CTE strengthens the whole District 5 community. By developing skilled local workforce, we are supporting economic growth and creating strong connections between our schools and the local industries who are coming to our area. Strong partnerships with centers like R.D. Anderson and the Master Skills Center are truly an investment in our students' futures. And tonight, I have one of our best and brightest students to tell you about his experience in CTE, specifically at R.D. Anderson. This is Mr. Noah Dwayne Baker. He's a lifelong District 5 student who attended Abner Creek, Barry Shoals is an intermediate when it was an intermediate school, Florence Chapel Middle, Burns Freshman Academy, and he is now in the final days as a senior at Burns High School. Some of you met him last night at Top 10 dinner. He will graduate in the top of the class with honors on May 21st. He went to R.D. Anderson for both Machine Tool Technology 1 with his teacher, Mr. Lane, and Machine Tool Technology 2 with Mr. Smith. And even though those R.D. Anderson courses were double blocked and took 2 blocks each day, he still came back to Burns. He completed 5 AP classes and 5 dual enrollment classes on our campus. At Burns High School, he completed the Project Lead the Way Engineering Cluster, and he took all the classes with Mr. Profit. After graduation, Noah plans to go to North Greenville University and then Clemson to study engineering. His parents, Amy and Michael Baker, are here to support him, and his brother Samuel. Noah, we want to know all about your capstone project and your experience at R.D. Anderson.
Good evening. My name's Noah Baker. I'm a senior at Burns High School. I had the opportunity to attend R.D. Anderson. You know, when people think about high school, they usually picture rows of desks, textbooks, and a whiteboard. But for those of us who attended RDA, our high school experience looked a little different. It looked like sparks flying, the smell of coolant, and the precise hum of a CNC machine. RDA isn't just a school, it's a bridge. It bridges the gap between theoretical knowledge and real-world application. In a traditional classroom, you learn how something should work. At RDA, you find out why it doesn't work and how to fix it. This is especially true in the Machine Tool program. My journey through Machine Tool 1 and 2 changed the way I look at the world. I didn't just learn to cut metal, I learned the language of precision. While the curriculum at RDA is important, the teachers are even more important. A program is only as good as the people leading it, and I was fortunate enough to learn from 2 of the best. Mr. Lane taught me Machine Tool 1 and laid the foundation. He taught me that close enough isn't an option when you're working with tolerances measured in thousandths of an inch. He had a way of making the intimidating seem achievable, instilling a sense of confidence in all of us. I had Mr. Smith for Machine Tool 2, and he pushed us to the next level. He treated us like professionals. Under his guidance, I learned the complexities of setup, the logic of programming, and the importance of problem solving under pressure. This car is an example of what we worked on in Mr. Smith's class. We spent about half the semester on this project, but it taught me a lot about having patience, taking your time, and learning, or not settling for good enough. And we made all the parts except for the electronics on this car, including the body. Both of these men didn't just teach me a trade, they taught me a work ethic. They showed me that there is dignity in craftsmanship and immense value in a job done right. Now, you might be wondering how spending hours at a lathe translates to a traditional academic setting. For me, the impact was immediate. When I walked into my engineering classes at Burns High School, I had a massive head start. While others were trying to visualize a three-dimensional part from a 2D drawing, I had already held those parts in my hands. I understood how things are manufactured, which made me a better designer. I didn't just draw lines on the screen, I drew features that I knew could actually be built. RDA turned abstract engineering concepts into tangible reality. Because of my time at RDA, my path after graduation became crystal clear. My experience in the machine tool lab is the primary reason I chose to study engineering in college. Many engineering students go through 4 years of college without ever touching the machines that bring their designs to life. Thanks to RDA, I'm entering college with a maker's mindset. I'm not just going there to get a degree, I'm going there to build on a foundation that started right at RDA. Overall, RDA is important because it empowers students. It gives us a place to fail safely, to learn deeply, and to grow into the technical leaders of tomorrow. I'd like to thank Mr. Lane, Mr. Smith, and all the faculty at RDA. They didn't just give me a set of skills, they gave me a career path and a passion for building the future. Thank you.
Any questions for Noah about his car?
Thank you, Ms. Greenway. Thank you, Noah. That was incredible. Any questions for Noah? Or don't run off yet. We might have questions. Any questions for Noah or Ms. Greenway?
As a board member at RDA, I want to say to Noah, you have done a marvelous job. Dr. Dawkins and all the staff there, those students present to us at our monthly meeting, and I tell you, they are awesome. When they come to us, we be excited in the room, and when they leave out, some of the things that they have created and made themselves. We know that coming from District 5 schools and James F. Burns High School, we're going to have some millionaires to come back and donate to this district. And Noah, we say to you tonight, we are very proud of you, and we salute your parents for allowing you the opportunity to live your dream.
Thank you, Mr. Cleveland. Any other comments or questions? Thank you, guys. Oh, wait, Mr. Clement.
Just one thing. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it, and congratulations to you, and good luck.
Thank you, guys. Moving on tonight with our reports, I'd like to recognize Ms. Melissa Robinette for the naming of new elementary school and new middle school.
I don't think I can follow Noah. That was remarkable. All right, board members, some of you, I believe about maybe half of it feels like yesterday, but it was just several years ago when we went through this process with Tiger River Elementary, of course, Abner Creek Middle School. Going through the process of naming new schools is an exciting thing that we get to do as we prepare to grow our district and open those new campuses. So as you know, District 5 is building a new elementary school and middle school on the southern end of the district to accommodate growth. Both of those are scheduled to open in the 28-29 school year, and what you're seeing now is just literally the land clearing, because that's about where we are, but soon enough we'll see lots more. So we'll begin with the new elementary school, and I want to begin, again, many of you remember this policy well from the time that we went through it with Tiger River. But just a few brief bullet points from our policy, board policy FF. It states that naming a school is a matter of great importance, which deserves careful attention from the board and administration. And where feasible, the board will name schools to denote location, considering the community, street, and geographical area in selection of a name. It goes on to say that names suggested by natural setting and habitat of the school location may also be appropriate, and the board will consider recommendations no later than the third monthly meeting after the contract for the school has been accepted. So we went through this process, and Dr. Smith, you're still here. I always enlist his help because Scott is so great at facilitating a process like this. So several weeks ago, we convened a committee representing River Ridge, Reedville, and Abner Creek. And the reason that we chose those schools is because that's going to be the area that we pull from for the attendance of this new elementary and middle school. So that committee was made up of parents, teachers and administrators from all three of those schools. And we had a great attendance and just a really lively discussion that day. It was awesome just to see the input and the participation from those folks. So we walked them through that policy that you just heard from, and really just opened the room to brainstorming and discussion. Everything from, we talked about the land, we talked about the history where we knew it of those two pieces of property, everything from the fact that one of the pieces of property when family took it over, that they had chosen to plant pine trees there. Like, could that be, recognized in the naming? And then they kind of really led the discussion from there and narrowed the names down to two top suggestions, with one name emerging as the top choice. So for the elementary school, the top choice was Lightwood Crossing Elementary School. The Lightwood coming, of course, from the road that school is adjacent to. And then Crossing, I think, just came up as a suggestion. So Lightwood Crossing Elementary is the first choice. The second choice was Pine Grove. Again, a nod to pine trees on the land. So moving on, the middle school, after we finished the elementary school, we went through the same exact process with this group again, because it will be the same elementary schools feeding into that middle school. So went through the same process, and the committee agreed on two potential names, with one name again emerging as the top choice. So for the middle school, it came down to the first choice being Sharon Grove Middle School. The grove, again, a nod to pine trees and a pine grove. And then Sharon was a name that came from several different properties that are on that road, but Sharon also has a biblical reference. And so the committee liked that, and they chose Sharon Grove Middle School. The second choice being Reedville Road Middle School. With that, we're just presenting for information tonight. We'll bring this back to you at next month's board meeting, but do I have any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Robinette. Any questions for Ms. Robinette or the administration? All right, thank you very much. Moving on, we would like to recognize Ms. Penny Denini for the quarterly financial report.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Gary. Tonight I'm presenting to you the quarter ending March 31st, 2026 General Fund Financial Report. And looking at the top, the actual revenue, it's starting to reflect the revenues from those December tax bills that went out. Revenue is tracking in line with the past. This quarter last year, we had collected 79% of our budgeted revenue, and we are currently at 82% of our budgeted revenue for this year. We are projecting local and state revenue to come in just shy of $2.4 million over budget. As we move down on the expenditure side, instructional expenditures are tracking pretty much as we budgeted, with elementary expenses projected to be a little bit lower than budgeted. And then as we move down to support services, As I mentioned in the previous report for quarter ending December 31st, our transportation budget is, we expect expenses to come in over budget in transportation. But overall, we expect our expenditures to be within budget overall. And then under our non-program charges, you'll notice we had budgeted a transfer of $1.5 million to our debt service fund. That's the fund we use to make our bond payments. Our debt service revenue is coming in higher than anticipated, so we will not need to make that transfer. So I've moved that, projected that transfer to go to the building fund rather than the debt service fund. So that will make the transfer to the building fund at $3,048,259. So that leaves, unlike last quarter, our total revenue is exceeding expenditures in the amount of $23,836,080. With this projected state revenue, we're anticipating revenue to exceed expenditures by $2.37 million by year end. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Denneny. Any comments or questions for Ms. Denneny? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Finally tonight, we'd like to recognize Mr. Ryan Clunan for a facilities update.
Thank you, Dr. Malone. Our facilities update tonight will include updates on the Beach Springs D'Angelo Road widening project, Burns High School Phase 3, and on the new South Transportation Center. So starting at the D'Angelo Road widening project, I'm very happy to share with you that the road was paved and striped over spring break. They have since come back and filled in the low spots on the shoulders. And as far as I've been told, the turn lanes at Beach Springs have been working very well. And so we're very happy to have this project completed. Moving to Burns Phase 3, I'm going to start on the west side as I normally do and work my way across. The roofing is complete in areas G and H and at the cafeteria addition. We've installed terrazzo in the corridors on the first and second level, and that's both levels are complete. VCT install is also complete, minus a few areas that still need to be addressed at the doors where the terrazzo meet the VCT. Millwork installation is in progress on the first floor, and as I shared last month, it's completed on the second floor. Plumbing fixture installations in progress across all areas of this construction area, as well as the painting is in progress in all areas. The marker board and tack boards are being installed in every classroom. Last month, I told you the gym flooring would start installation in early April. They had a delay in shipping. That flooring arrived last week, so they're going to start installation this week. And the courtyard concrete has been poured. I'll show you a photo of that on the next slide. And our cafeteria addition, the overhead utility work it continues. So the photo on the left is one of our group restrooms. It's on the second floor. This photo is showing that the epoxy flooring is complete. It needs to be cleaned, of course. It's not clean, but it is complete. The toilet and sink installation is complete in this particular restroom. They still have to finish their overhead inspection, drop ceiling tiles, and then they'll start the toilet partition installation. The photo on the right is of our west courtyard. Everything you're seeing in the background is Phase 2 building, and this courtyard has been planned in the master plan to be completed in Phase 3. And so they have, since I've taken this picture, they've finished the concrete. What we're seeing around this seating wall is a planter area, so that'll get landscaped, and they still have the concrete cap to put on top of the wall for this outdoor learning space. Moving across to Area D, this is an angle of Area D you have not seen yet. This is in the courtyard on the east side of campus. So this is the Area D wing that is under construction now. Everything else is Phase 2. So again, this courtyard has been planned to be completed in Phase 3. The science lab casework installation is in progress in these science labs right here. The final paint coat is in progress on both levels. The east courtyard, that's this courtyard, the amphitheater is in progress. So what we're seeing here in the photo is the footings being prepped. They were poured on Thursday. And so now they have, the work to do is to recess this amphitheater. It'll have 2 tiers of seating, a ramp, and some stairs to make a second outdoor learning space. And where I'm standing in the photo, I'm underneath where will be a covered seating area that will work in tandem with the second Rebel Cafe. So it'll provide a second place for students to eat outdoors. And so the canopy footings for that canopy are in progress. And then moving to area E and F, overhead utilities are still in progress for both of these areas. The second floor painting is in progress. A large milestone that we're going to have start this week is the heat pumps. All of the heat pumps will start in rotation, but eventually this week and moving into next week, we'll have every heat pump started. And so that's a huge milestone for the project. Once the building acclimates to temperature and humidity, they'll start pouring the terrazzo on the second floor. They actually started prep work for that last week. And so we're hoping to see some terrazzo in the next couple of weeks on the second floor. The roofing tie-in on the band building is in progress. You can see it in the photo right here. It's a little small, but this is our direct connection from our Phase 3 directly to the band hall and to the Fine Arts Center. So that roofing is in progress. The metal wall panel installation is in progress on the front of Phase 3, front of areas E and F. And then over spring break, the both back drives were paved and striped, as well as all the concrete sidewalks were completed. So currently the project on schedule, it is on budget. We do have, I mentioned to you last month, we have a lot of work that will take place this summer on the front drive. And so we've been working to develop a plan and a schedule for that work. And really there's so much work that if we were to have a lot of rain days, a lot of weather events over the summer, it could potentially push us past the date that teachers come back. And so what we wanted to do is to make sure they had enough time in case we had any bad weather. And so we're closing the front drive on May 4th. It'll actually be closed on the afternoon of May 2nd. And you'll start seeing equipment parked out front Thursday and Friday of this week in preparation for the work to start really on Saturday and Sunday. So the front drive will be closed. It'll be fenced off, so only contractors can access. We'll have signage put up late this week by McKnight. We've coordinated that with Ms. Greenway and with others in the administration to make sure we have proper signage up to get visitors around to the temporary front office, which will be at the Schofield Gym lobby. We will have designated parking for visitors, as you can see here in red. So no staff members, no coaches will be allowed to park there starting May 5th. Visitors will park there. They'll walk through the main entrance in the gym lobby. They'll walk through our metal detectors where we have a security guard there, and they will be greeted with the receptionist that'll be there temporarily. Band students have been walking across the front, as you've probably noticed over the last couple of years. So now that the front drive is closed, band students will now walk down the back drive that has been completed. We're going to move the security guard that has been stationed in the front lobby of Burns to the back hall of the band hall, just to continue with safety and security for that area. The Fine Arts Center will remain accessible. It will have fencing in front of it on the drive, but the front concrete sidewalk patio area will be accessible. Of course, the doors will be accessible as well. So no event that is scheduled for the Fine Arts Center will be in any jeopardy of losing access. Starting on May 5th, we'll have access back to the staff parking shown in yellow at the Fine Arts Center parking lot, which will be a huge help. There will be a time over the summer where that gets closed again because we have to add finish our storm drain as they come across the front drive, and then they will mill and repave that parking lot as well. So a lot of work to be done. We have worked pretty closely with administration to make sure we hope everything has been accounted for. But if anything comes up, we'll be sure to work on it diligently and get it corrected. And then the last project is our South Transportation Center, or the Transportation Hub, as we've been calling it. Following GMP number 1 approval last month, the loggers were able to start clearing trees on April 3rd. And you can see the photo here they made really quick work of the trees that are out there. They still have some cleanup that they're working on. They cannot do any of the grubbing or stump removal until we have our land disturbance permit. So we're hopeful that we receive that in the next couple of weeks. Spartanburg County has that right now in review, and they've already given us some comments. And so we're thankful for GMP number 2 being approved today and look forward to this project moving forward. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Clunan. Any questions for Mr. Clunan or the administration? All right, thank you very much. This concludes our public session tonight. Do I have a motion to enter executive session?
I move that we go into executive session for the purpose of a student discipline appeal and discussion of employment matters in reference to new hires, promotions, and resignations.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Gergley. All in favor of entering executive session for the purposes of a student discipline appeal and discussion of employment matters in reference to new hires, promotions, and resignations, please do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 8-0. We are now in executive session. Thank you. We have just returned from executive session where we discussed a student discipline appeal and employment matters in reference to new hires, promotions, and resignations. Do I have a motion to return to public session?
I move that we end executive session and return to public session at 10:02 PM.
Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Gergley. All in favor of ending executive session and returning to public session, please do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 8-0. All right, do we have any other motions?
I move that we deny the appeal of student A and uphold the school's recommendation for alternative placement at Burns Rebel Academy.
Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Gergley. All in favor of denying the appeal of student A and upholding the school's recommendation for alternative placement at Burns Rebel Academy, please do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 8-0. Do I have any other motions?
I move that we accept the recommendations of the administration and approve the new hires, promotion, and resignations as presented by the administration.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Cleveland. All in favor of accepting the recommendation of the administration and approving the new hires, promotions, and resignations as presented, please do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 8-0. Do I have any other motions?
I move that we end the April board meeting at 10:03 PM.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Clement. All in favor of ending the April board meeting at 10:02 PM, please do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 8-0. We are now adjourned.